name's Adam, and for this portion we're going to be discussing the RV safety equipment and or emergency. So for the first item on the list, basically you have is your typical fire extinguisher. Some will have a built-in gauge to indicate if it's still good for use. But with this particular type, and quite commonly, you'll have nothing but a green indicator on top. You can safely depress that, and if it pops up, that indicates that there's pressure still inside of it, and then it's good to use. The next piece of safety equipment would be your LP gas detector. And it's usually located at a low point in the RV, usually a few inches above the floor. This particular one looks like this and needs to be tested periodically or monthly depending on use. You can depress the button and it'll have an audible sound kind of similar to a smoke detector. The lights may change color to indicate that it's in an alarm or test mode depending on the situation. So the purpose of a propane gas detector is to detect any type of propane gas leak. As gas is heavier than air and is usually settles into a low-lying area, and that's usually where your detector is located. Under normal use it shouldn't go off, but it could indicate, if it did, that it has an internal fault or has expired. And in this case the date of manufacture is not on the face, so you'd have to simply undo the two screws and see the date that's stamped on the rear side of the detector. Unless it's a surface mount, it can be undone from its retainer and then visually inspect the date. Typically, according to the manufacturer, they're only usually good for about 10 years. So check the date on the detector itself to see if it has expired or not. So your next piece of safety equipment is your carbon monoxide detector, which is usually located in the bedroom area or anywhere where the majority of sleeping or beds will be. In this particular living space, it happens to be on the ceiling level, which most will be on that type of plane. This particular one happens to be a dual, which you may find dual smoke alarm and carbon monoxide, but there again, they're both carbon monoxide smoke detectors, and as well as LP gas detectors will have a date on the rear side of the detector to indicate if it's expired or not. Usually 10 years there again. So locate that, test it just like you would with any other detector by holding the test button down and see if it gives you a light change and an audible sound. Some of them are hardwired into the RV battery system, and if so, then make sure your RV battery is good and installed properly in order for the detector to function. And this particular one happens to have a separate battery, either a 9-volt or a couple AA's, so make sure that they're still good before using the RV. So with this portion here, we're going to be talking about the emergency exit window. So generally in the bedroom area or the one end of your RV, if you're not able to escape from your entry door, there's usually an exit window for you to be able to bail yourself out of. So locate that and familiarize yourself with how it functions. In this case, this is a typical RV window. Either A, you'll have a center handle that you can open and push on the window, or two handles such as this one, where you just flip the handles up and then push on the bottom of the window. And the first time you use it, it may seem like it's kind of stuck, as the seals may kind of stick. So be familiar with it and know how its function is, so that in the case of an emergency you know how to use it safely. Don't be afraid to use it for any other reason sometimes too. The window will not fall out on the ground, it just operates on a hinge like so. But in the event of that emergency, you can hurl yourself out the window. You will survive with maybe a couple of bumps and bruises, but the idea is to get out safely.